Hey guys, you know what? I just got back from the Halloween shop, and there was these really cool masks there. There was like a pumpkin, a witch, and a skeleton. So, I bought all three. But they had this weird, like, little silver shamrock tag on the back. It kept falling off. I don't know. My wife was messing around with it. It, like, messed up her face and stuff. It was freaking pretty crazy. But how you guys doing today? Welcome back to FACCI'S Horror Movies and More. Today we're going to talk about Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. It's got kind of a bag of mixed reviews on this one. Some people just don't like it just because they were expecting the man Michael Myers to be in it. And after watching this movie you realize he ain't in it. So them people were kind of disappointed. But for the people that it didn't really bother them, it's a pretty good little horror sci-fi flick. Got some John Carpenter tones in it, the music and whatnot. Got some creepy special effects. Kind of weird plot. Some things that I don't think worked very well, but overall it's a pretty decent film. It's actually from 1982. Stars Tom Atkins and Dan O'Hurley as the villain in this one, as Cochran. As villains go, he's pretty damn good. He's probably one of the most sinister villains you're ever going to see, because most villains don't want to kill the children. But as this movie goes along, this villain don't give two shits about killing no children. Opening sequence got really good, kind of creepy techno. You definitely get John Carpenter-esque vibes with the soundtrack and the opening shots. You're following this old guy running down the street. You don't know who he's being chased by or what's going on, and then you see these guys in like business suits are the ones chasing him, and they have kind of like a robotic quality, but you don't know exactly what they are because it just started, and you're like, wow, they kind of walk and move like Michael Myers in Halloween 2, and that's probably because John Carpenter was involved in this movie a little bit, and it was part of his anthology series that he was trying to go towards, but didn't pan out because people didn't like that Michael wasn't in the movie. So that might have been why they kind of had a Michael Myers vibe to them. He escapes. He escapes the guys chasing him, makes it to the hospital and whatnot. He's holding a mask the whole entire time, and the doctor, which is Dr. Chalice, played by Tom Atkins, he's the doctor working there. He gets him in, gets him all checked out and everything. He doesn't understand why he's holding onto this mask for dear life and will not let it go, and saying that everybody's going to die, they're going to kill us all, and he just doesn't get it. But somehow the suit people knew where he was going to be, so they followed him to the hospital, and they took him out. They took out the old guy. They busted it, squeezed his face, pulled his like eye sockets, and ripped his. His whole face apart. It was pretty gruesome for the first kill of the movie. And then he just walks out to his car and pours lighter fluid on himself and blows himself up right there. And you're just sitting back thinking, what the hell is this? What am I in for? I have no idea. An aspect of this movie that it's super catchy, but at the same time it's kind of annoying, is the Silver Shamrock commercial that plays pretty much throughout the whole film, counting down the days to Halloween. And it's pretty catchy, but like I said, after hearing it a couple times, it gets on your damn nerves. And the people in the movie, you could see it getting on their damn nerves because it's on every radio station, every television station, because these Silver Shamrock masks are a pretty big damn deal. And all the kids are craving to get these masks, and stores are selling out. And this movie is pretty much based around these masks that Cochran, who owns Silver Shamrock, makes them. And the little tiny Silver Shamrock chip in the back that will come to premonition later in the movie. But if you're watching the one scene, they're talking about Stonehenge and how it's stolen and missing and it's baffling the authorities and whatnot. But that comes into play towards the end of the movie, when that one scene in the beginning that you don't even really pay attention to has to deal with the end. So that's pretty cool. The town, well, let me rewind it. Actually, Dr. Chalice's ex-wife is actually played by the same lady who played Annie in the original Halloween in 1978, Nancy Loomis. So I thought that was pretty cool. She looks a lot different, but you could tell it's her. And I thought that was a pretty cool homage to the original Halloween. Dr. Chalice himself is an alcoholic, a womanizer, seems to be a terrible father, but it's not. He tries, but he got way other things going on that he'd much rather be doing, like hooking up with chicks and that kind of thing. So kind of puts his kids and family on the back burner. But at the hospital scene, you also meet Ellie, which was the old man's father, or excuse me, the old man's daughter. And she's a pretty attractive woman, so Dr. Chalice sees her, and you kind of think that they're definitely going to be hooking up later, which...
Wait a minute. How old are you?
Relax. I'm older than I look.
Dr. Chalice don't play games. He's trying to get that booty. You know what I mean? So, she meets him later on in the movie, and they decide, hey, let's go out to Santa Mira and try to go to this factory and see what's going on. Dr. Chalice don't even know this lady for more than 2 seconds, and just because she's kind of hot, he feels that he got to go with her. And the motives behind it, to me, I just think he's just trying to get some ass. But then as he gets going, then he has to solve what's going on, because it's actually pretty serious. And then when Ellie and Dr. Chalice get to the town, you could tell there's just it's not something right about this town. Super suspicious. All the people are looking at them like they're super duper outsiders. They got a 6 o'clock curfew, which is kind of weird, since 6 o'clock, I mean, come on, maybe like 10 o'clock, but 6 o'clock, lock your doors, get home, you know something's freaky with this town. So they check into this motel before they go and investigate the factory. There's a saleswoman at the hotel who has a mask, and she noticed that the chip on the back of it, the logo chip, fell off, and there was like a microchip inside of it. So she's messing around with it in her bedroom, and then it misfires, and it messes her face all up and stuff, and like freaking spider came coming out. So you're like,
Who cares?
like, what? You know, what the hell's going on with these masks and everything? So then they go, whenever they go investigate the factory and stuff, they go on a tour. They look at how the masks are made and everything, but there's a final processing stage that no one's allowed to go in. And he says it involves chemicals, and he wouldn't want to put anyone in any danger. But this Cochran guy's dangerous. They just don't know it yet. He's trying to kill all these kids. So they won't let him in there. And when they're leaving, Ellie sees her father's car hidden up with a tarp in the one garage. So they know that he was there, and definitely something fishy going on, and they did something to him. So they go back to the hotel, and they're packing up their stuff and getting ready to go. But the guys in suits come back. One of them, in which is played by Dick Warlock, who played Michael Myers in Halloween 2. So that's another homage to Halloween 2. So that's pretty cool. They come to capture them. They actually kidnap Ellie. But Dr. Chalice ends up getting away and, you know, sneaks his way back into the factory to try to save her. Ellie, at some point in time, gets switched from a human body and they switch her into a robot. But Dr. Chalice doesn't know that until the end of the movie. But some people kind of think that, oh, she might have been a robot the whole time. But I don't think that's the case. I think that they kidnapped her, swapped bodies, and then replaced her with a robot who later comes back to try to kill Dr. Chalice. But at the factory, you know, he gets captured, and Colonel Cochran goes over as to why he's doing what he's doing. And Cochran actually says that the reason that he's doing this to kill the children is like the ancients did rituals on, and the hills ran red with the blood of animals and children. It's not like a sacrifice to keep the world balanced, so it doesn't get overpopulated is what I'm taking away from what he's saying. Everything needs to be equal. It's kind of like a Thanos type of deal, but 30 plus years before Thanos even did it in the Avengers movies, Colonel Cochran was doing this shit way back in the 80s. Except for he was only killing the children. But, I mean, I don't really think that's the right way about going about balancing the universe, killing all the kids. Because there ain't going to be nobody left if he kills all the kids. The world's just going to be over. So, I think you might want to think this one through. How he's doing what he's doing. So they got some kind of... They stole Stonehenge, and it has some kind of magical powers that they put into the chips. And then whenever that Silver Shamrock commercial plays, it, you know, transponds to the chip, which makes the chip kind of like rot the kids' heads and stuff. Which you saw earlier in the film when they put little Buddy and his family in the test room and Dr. Chalice had to watch it. As the little boy was looking at the TV and the music started playing, 2 more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. The mask started to turn into literally a rotting pumpkin, and his head literally rotted right there as the bugs, the cockroaches, snakes, spiders, all were crawling out of his mask while his parents... Parents had to watch it, and you could see that Cochran is actually having a good time with it. Like he enjoys killing these kids. So they kidnap Dr. Chalice, and they're gonna do the same thing to him. However, he escapes somehow. I don't know how the hell he threw his skeleton mask perfectly up there on that camera, but he did it. He somehow escaped and rescued Ellie. And then in the kind of like the finale battle, which really wasn't even a battle really, he just dumps a whole box of the chips on top of all the staff and the suit guys. And they play that theme song, and all of them kind of fucking lasers and shit shooting everywhere, and he kills everybody in the room except for Cochran, who's standing down there clapping. But then something happens to him too. Stonehenge, in this weird ass circle where all the computers were, shoots these lasers at him and turns him into this weird looking stone statue thing. That's why I said this is like a sci-fi movie, because this is some weird shit that's not in the usual typical horror movie. Luckily, then Dr. Chalice and Ellie escape. But he then finds out that she's a robot, and she tries to kill him once. He thinks he kills her. She tries to kill him again with a arm. Thinks he kills her again. Attacks him again. Thinks he kills her. And finally kills her for real. And then he's like, what the fuck? And then he's driving around Well, actually, no. He wrecked. He wrecked after he tried to got in a fight with the robot Ellie, and then ran to that same gas station conveniently that the father ran to try to stop that commercial from playing and killing all the kids. He was able to get into contact with the TV stations. He stopped 2 of them. He, however, did not stop the 3rd one. And his kids were 2 of the kids in the world wearing those masks. And then it's just him yelling at the phone, "Stop it! Stop it!" And you don't...
Stop it! 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 Stop it!
You don't know if he did stop, that channel did turn off, if it kept playing, if all the kids that were wearing them died. You don't know. That's the end of the movie. Leaves you thinking, holy shit. If he didn't get to that other station, a lot of kids are gonna die tonight. And that's pretty serious shit. That's not what you expect, because you don't expect the children to die in horror movies, but this movie went that way. It made you think about that. So if you're into the sci-fi kind of thing, and Stonehenge making these crazy powers and shit, causing these masks to rot these kids' head and killing children and stuff, and sci-fi-esque kind of horror, then this is a movie for you. For the Michael Myers super fans, they ain't gonna really dig this movie. When I first saw it, I honestly didn't like it that much either, but as you get older, your likes change, and you can grow to like some things. It's not a bad movie. It's not a terrible movie at all. I actually really kind of enjoy it. It was a fun watch for me, and I highly recommend it to anybody who's written it off in the past or has never even seen it once. You know, give it a shot. Honestly, out of 5 though, I'd probably give it a 2.5. It's right there in the middle for me. The masks are pretty cool. The characters are likable. The villain is super badass. The atmosphere's creepy. The music is creepy. It's definitely worth a look. So hopefully you guys will listen to what I had to say, give it another shot, go back and rewatch it, and see if your thoughts change. If so, let me know. Let me know what you guys thought about previous watches in the comments below. Hopefully hit that like and hit that subscribe, and anytime a new video's up, you'll be the first one to know. So, happy Halloween, Halloween. Oh, come on, stop with that song, God. But have yourself a scary day.
What? Stop it!
Nope.
4 days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock.